We discussed different items came out of the burning. And first, it was the poison that Lord Shiva, being the greatest Vaishnava, um, stopped, drank the poison to save the world from getting destroyed. And we see how Krishna or Lord Vishnu always gives a wonderful service to his devotees. And from this whole episode, if you ask anybody who knows a little bit about this history and this pastime, they will say, "Oh, Lord Shiva saved the world." So you can see how the Lord is very humble and he gives the greatest praise to his own devotees. In Mahabharata, the Lord gives Arjun and the Pandavas the greatest um, praise, though he is the greatest. He wants his devotee to get all the credit. So in that mood, the Lord um, gave Lord Shiva this wonderful service of saving the world from poison. And Lord Shiva, being such a great devotee, is serving the whole world. And then we saw about all the different aspects that came out of the ocean. There was the horse Uchishrava that Bali Maharaj took. Airavata came, Mother Lakshmi came. All of uh, all these wonderful personalities and items came out of it. And finally, the nectar pot came, and Dhanvantari bought it, but the Asuras, they grabbed it and ran away. And then Mohini Murti came and said, "I'm going to help you all get out of this problem." So that's where we're going to start. This is Canto 8, Chapter 9 through 14 is what we're going to cover today. So Mohini Murti had wonderful feminine charms, and when the Lord takes the form of a female, um, she is very, very beautiful. It is said that Mohini Murti's beauty was even surpassed Mother Lakshmi's. So when the Lord takes the form, he is the most beautiful, and he could enchant anybody. Oh, actually, I should mention. Um, the Lord is taking Mohini Murti's form, and she went to the demons, and the demons were captivated by her beauty, and they gave up they were fighting amongst each other when Mohini Murti came there, because they wanted to see who can drink the nectar first. They got this pot of nectar, which is so much of labor everybody had done to get this nectar, but they were fighting amongst each other. So that gave Mohini Murti time to come there. And when they saw Mohini Murti, they forgot about the nectar so much and they were focused on her. They were saying, "Oh, beautiful woman, please come. We really like you." And all of them wanted to, be with Mohini Murti. And Mohini Murti herself said, "Oh, I'm a beautiful woman. I'm friends with many men, so you cannot, put your trust on me." But since the demons were totally captivated and floored by the beauty, they was like, "No, you are the best person. You take this nectar pot and divide it equally amongst ourselves, so that we don't fight with each other." So they're putting their trust on this female. So many times we can see in the world, we get a lot of temptations and allurements in the world. We think we will get all kind of happiness from there. So we are willing to put our complete trust on that. So similarly, the demons, they put their complete trust on Mohini Murti, who had actually come to cheat them. And Mohini Murti, of course, she is Supreme Personality of Godhead. She didn't want to give any nectar to the demons, because it is like giving milk to a snake, or giving nourishment to a snake, which would ultimately bite. So this nectar is the one that would give back youthfulness and all kind of opulence, right? If you remember, this whole episode started um, when the Devas had lost all their riches and all their health, and they were in a very, very pathetic state. And then they had gone and surrendered to Lord Brahma, and Brahma told they have to go to Lord Vishnu. He'll give you the solution. And Lord Vishnu had told them to churn this milk ocean. So this Amrit or nectar is going to give them back longevity, and they're going to live for a long time with good health and lot of riches. So the Lord did not want the asuras to get the nectar. It was meant for the devotees or the devas. So the Lord took the nectar, and she she when she took the nectar from the demon, she made them promise that they will not protest whatever she does, because at that point the demons were really, head over heels for Mohini Murti. They just wanted to see her and hear her and see her feminine actions, and they just were focused on that. They didn't really care so much for the nectar at that point. So they lost sight of their goal, actually. And then Mohini Murti made the demons and the asuras, or the demons on one side and the devas on the other side, and she started pouring the nectar for the devas or the demigods. Now the demons at this point, they were just looking at Mohini Murti, smiling at them and all that. And then they thought, oh, Mohini Murti will just give a little bit to these devas so that they won't fight and then bring everything to us. But actually, Mohini Murti distributed all the nectar to the devas. Then suddenly there was the sun and the Surya and Soma. They are two demigods, right? The Devatas, like our sun and moon god. And they found that there was this person who was dressed as a Deva, but actually was an Asura. So it seems like there was a clever demon who wanted the nectar more than see the bodily charm of Mohini Murti, and he changed his um, clothes into that of Deva and dressed up like a Deva, and he was sitting with the Devas to drink the nectar. Now, these are all pastimes. So somebody might ask, "Oh, Mohini Murti is Supreme Lord. How didn't she know that there was Rahu sitting there as a deva, and the sun and the moon had to point out, oh, this is an asura." So the answer is the Lord wanted to show the effect of this amrit or the nectar. So what happened was, as Rahu was drinking the nectar, he got this all the good effects of the nectar from his face. And as the nectar was going down, the Lord took her Sudarshana Chakra and cut off the head. And it is said that the Rahu's face or the head, since it got the nectar, it wouldn't die. It and then Brahma made Rahu one of the planets, like the sun and the moon globe. And it is said that when the Shreyati and Srihariji, if you could reduce the volume or mute, thank you. So, uh, so Rahu was a person who uh, was an imposter, and the Lord is showing the effects of this nectar, that his head wouldn't perish. And this is what we're going to have an eclipse, right? In America in a week. It's going to be a total solar eclipse. And the significance of that is mentioned here. So only after this event the eclipses started happening. The When Rahu is covering the sun and the moon, like the shadow is falling, that's called Rahu. So that so the, so after Rahu got this boon, that's when Rahu was able to, there was shadows being cast on the sun and moon, and that's how the eclipses started happening in the world. So then there is glorification of the Lord, and who gets it's the shelter of the Lord is mentioned in the next few verses. That the Asuras and the Devas, they both were part of this pastime, but the Lord favored the Devas because they were devotees. So the Lord will always, everybody has equal opportunity to become favorable to the Lord, but He shows His favor to those who are favorable and loving him. They can only receive his love. So that's how the nectar was only going to the devas. And once the devas got the nectar, the asuras were so angry because they did not get Mohini Murti. Mohini Murti, after doing the providing the nectar to the devas, disappeared. So they thought they will get the most beautiful woman in the world, but they did not. They did not get the nectar. So they were very, very frustrated, unhappy, and they started a big battle between the demons and the demigods. So the demons started to attack the demigods because they got back all their glory, and they couldn't take it anymore because they did not get the nectar, and they lost all their kingdom back to the demigods. So there was a huge battle that ensued. Um, So as you can see here, the Bali Maharaj was on a flying plane, and he was attacking like that. That plane was given to Bali Maharaj by Maya demon, and then Airavata is the elephant of the Indra, and he he got back all his glory, so he was very powerful, and he was fighting, and everybody who was fighting was well matched. So the rights, like Bali Maharaj and Indra were fighting, and the pairs who were fighting, I'll quickly read that it's interesting to know who all were there in this fight. So Indra versus Bali, Kartikeya versus Tarakasura, Varuna versus Heti, Mitra versus Praheti, Yamaraj versus Kalanabha, Vishwakarma versus Mayadanava, Twashta versus Sambara, Savistra versus Virochana, Aparijita versus Namuchi, Ashwini Kumaras versus Vrishabharva, Surya versus 100 sons of Bali, Soma versus Rahu, Vayu versus Paloma, Bhadrakali versus Shumba and Nishumba, Lord Shiva versus Jamba, Vipavasu versus Mahishasura, sons of Brahma versus Ilvala and Vatapi, Cupid versus Durmarsha, Matrika Devatas Desas versus Utkala, Brahaspati versus Sukracharya, Sanishchara or Saturn versus Narakasura, the Maruts versus Nivatkavacha, Vasus versus Kalakeyas, Vishwadeva Devatas versus Paulomas, and Rudra versus Krodavasas. So first person I mentioned was on the Deva side. Second versus is the Asura side. So everybody were matched in their powers in their fight. So there was a huge battle going on. So then Bali, who was attacking Indra, shot 18 arrows at Indra, like 10 at Indra, at Airavata 3. There were four horsemen, protecting the legs of Airavata. They were getting attacked. the driver of Airavata was getting attacked. But Indra had a weapon called Balla weapon, and he attacked with the Balla weapon. And Bali became angry and he threw the Shakti weapon. Indra cut it into pieces. So there's this big battle going on. So then Indra cut Bali's lances, Prasha, Tamara, Rishtis, etc. Then Bali restored the illusion. So Bali Maharaj is the king of the Asuras. So he has these illusory or mystic powers by which, he was bewildering everybody. There was a blazing forest fire, there were chips of stones flying everywhere, and scorpions and large snakes and poisonous animals and um, all that started attacking. So then the demigods were very, getting attacked and they were losing hope. And at that time, the Lord came on Garuda and revived all those who were getting attacked. All the demigods got full energy and health, and then all the mysticism of all these bad things that were happening, the fires and whirlpools and all that that were coming went away. And then the Lord killed Kalanemi, who Kalanemi was attacking the Lord with his trident. And the Lord caught it. Actually, Kalanemi was throwing the trident at Garuda. God, Lord caught it and threw it back at Kalanemi, and Kalanemi died. So Lord will not tolerate his devotees being attacked. So Garuda is a wonderful devotee who's always serving the Lord as his vehicle. So the Lord protected Garuda, and then the Lord killed Mali, Sumali, and Malyavan with his Sudarshana Chakra. So then, at this point, Indra had gained all the power. Earlier, Indra was losing to the demons because he had offended Durvasa Rishi. If you remember, we discussed about the garland that Durvasa Rishi gave, and he gave it to Airavata. Airavata kicked on the garland, and that showed that he did not have respect for the gurus. So he got a curse that he'd lose all his opulence, and with drinking the Amrit or nectar, he got back all this power, and he's able to fight with Bali Maharaj so well. And he started saying that Indra said that, "Oh, Bali Maharaj, you're a rascal. You had taken our possessions, and now I'm going to kill you," and all that. But Bali Maharaj is also a devotee. So he said, victory and defeat is the effect of time. It's not your greatness. Victory and defeat can happen to anybody. So we can see that Bali Maharaj knows what is right and wrong, and he also um, knows the scriptures well and is a devotee. And we'll see his pastimes soon, probably in the next class when we discuss the incarnation of Vamanadev. So actually, Indra became so powerful at the moment. So he took his thunderbolt weapon and he attacked Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj seemingly looked dead and he fell down. And then there was another demon who attacked Indra. His name was Namuchi. And none of the weapons were working on Namuchi. Even the thunderbolt that had killed Vritrasura, we discussed about Chitraketu Maharaj, who became Vritrasura earlier in the previous canto. And then that person was killed by this thunderbolt weapon, but it had no effect on Namuchi. So Indra was totally confused. Why is my Vajra weapon not working? What is going on? This Even Namuji is not such a great fighter, but he is able to withstand the power of my thunderbolt. Then a celestial voice came and said, Namuchi cannot be killed by something that is dry or wet. So, so then Indra thought, what should I do? And he understood that he should use a weapon made of foam, which is neither. So if you see the froth on the soap, the bubbles, you can say it is neither wet nor dry. So, so he used a foam weapon, and then he was able to kill Namuchi. So, as you see now, the demons was totally devastated, and their king Bali Maharaj for looked as if he had died. But then Shukracharya, he came with the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra. He was able to revive all the demons. Now we start another episode where Lord Shiva comes to Lord Madhusudana or Krishna or Lord Vishnu. See here, Lord Shiva and Parvati comes, and Lord Shiva has this desire to see Mohini Murti because he had drunk the poison and he had left that place. He never saw this incarnation of the Lord. So the Lord wants to have a fun pastime with Lord Shiva. He said, "Sure, if you really want to, I can show you." And before that, Lord Shiva says wonderful prayers to the Lord before he requests to see Mohini Murti. And we know Vaishnavanam Yada Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee, and he even has instructed many devotees like the Prachetas on Rudra Gita how to be a good devotee of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So Lord Shiva is very exalted, and the only difference is Lord Shiva is engaged with uh, the tamogun, with the gunas. He is supreme personality of Godhead, who is slightly mixed with the external energy of the Lord. So Lord Shiva um, said, please, I'd like to see Mohini Murti. And the Lord said, definitely. And the Lord disappeared from there. And in the distance, Lord Shiva saw a beautiful woman playing with a ball. Now, you would think that Lord Shiva, being great renunciate and always focused on God, will not get bewildered like the demons did. Now, we shouldn't see this as a shortfall of Lord Shiva, but this is something that the Lord wanted to show that even if you are really exalted, if you're not careful, you can fall into a trap with this energy. And Lord Shiva cannot be bewildered by the external energy of the Lord, because the external energy of the Lord is Mother Parvati. That's Mother Parvati is the caretaker of the material universe, Mother Kali or Mother Parvati. So, um, Lord Shiva is not bewildered by his wife, but when the Lord uses internal energy as Mohini Murti, Lord Shiva, as you can see here, he got bewildered and he started running behind Mohini, and Mohini was running, and the Lord wanted Shiva to get bewildered, and so some part of her clothes flew away, and Lord Shiva was totally captivated and running as if he was trying to, get Mohini Murti for himself. And then the Lord ran through other areas where there were impersonalists and um, um, other sannyasis who have given up their material life and just focused on meditation. And the Lord ran through their assembly so they could all see Lord Shiva was running behind a woman. So this is just to show if we are not guarded, then we would lose our sight of the goal because we can easily be bewildered. And then So once Lord Shiva came back to his senses, he was not ashamed because he knows that he's very humble and he accepts defeat in with the Lord's energy because he knows Lord Hari is his Lord and Master. And when Lord Vishnu wants to show him losing control of his senses, there is nothing that can stop Lord Shiva from being bewildered. So he was not ashamed. He was just glorifying the Lord. Oh, your energy is so powerful, and thank you for revealing this to me. And we shouldn't be criticizing Lord Shiva because this was ordained by the Lord for his pastime. And what happens between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu is highly exalted, and they are having a wonderful pastime amongst themselves. So, um, so we can learn from the external nature that we shouldn't be, falling to allurements and temptations. We should be focused on the goal. And then Sukadeva Goswami concludes the chapter. Um, and then there's a description of the future manus. So right now we are on the seventh manvantara. So this whole eighth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is about manvantras. And how many manvantras are there in one kalpa or day of Brahma? Anybody knows?
Prabhuji, 14. 14.
Hare Krishna. Yes, very nice. There are 14 manvantras, and each manvantara has 71 Divya Yugas. So we are currently in the seventh manvantara. So that's like in the middle, right? Seven is the middle of 14. Um, and And for each manvantara, there is a person called Manu who upholds this is the universal administration of the Lord, um, of the world at each time. So during each manvantara, there is an Indra, there's a Manu, there are Manuputras, there are 7 sages. And as you can see in this table, for each manvantara, all the main personalities are mentioned. So the demigods, who are the demigods? So you can see all these are positions that are changing every manvantara. For example, Purandar is the Indra in our manvantara that we are in currently. And in the eighth manvantara, Bali Maharaj, he will become the Indra. So it's clearly mentioned what is going to happen in the future in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago by Vyasadeva, and everything is clearly mentioned what's going to happen. So, as you can see, all the 14 manvantras, who would be the Manu, and then there's explanation of what is the role of each person. So the Lord is the one who decides who becomes the Manu, who becomes the sages, uh, who are the Manuputras, who are the demigods, and their duties are all mentioned. This is the universal administration of the material world. So with that, we'll conclude today's class, and then next class we'll be discussing about Bali Maharaj and Vamana Dev's appearance. So if you have any other questions, we can discuss that now or quickly go to the Kahoot. We have 14 questions. Hmm. So the game pin is 1882571.
Prabhuji, please wait a minute.
That's the phone. Sure, sure. Of course. That's the phone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Can we start? Tarunji, you looks like you have joined.
Yes, Prabhu.
Srihariji joined. Shreyaji joining?
Yes, I joined. She's also joined.
Okay, we'll give her a minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Who is unknown?
Me, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. Shreyaji has joined us, our supreme goddess, Radharani. Very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, why did the demons start fighting with each other even though they had the pot of nectar? Each one wanted to be the first to taste nectar. Each one wanted to drink the whole pot. They wanted to give the pot of nectar back to the devas. They wanted to pour the nectar back in the ocean. Yes, each one wanted to be the first. Okay, Srihari ji is in first place now. Meenakshi ji, Krishna devotee, Radha, and unknown. Who did the demons ask to divide the nectar equally among all of them? Purvadev, Indra, Mohini Murti, Ajita. Yes, it was Mohini Murti. Who did Mohini Murti serve all the nectar to? Asuras, Devas, Rahu, or Indra? Yes, all the nectar was divided among the Devas. Whose head did Lord Mohini cut off and why? Bali, since he was the king of demons. Rahu, demon disguised as demons, came to take nectar. Yes. I couldn't even finish reading. All of you are so fast. Very good. Okay, Srihariji is on fire. Krishna devotee Narayana is in first place now. Solar and lunar eclipses are considered to be the attack of Dash, Guru, Brahaspati, Rahu, Ketu. Yes, Rahu. Why did the demons not get any nectar, though they strived hard for it? They cheated, they were lazy, they were too proud, they were not devotees of the Lord. Yes. The correct answer is they were not devotees of the Lord. Who was attacking on a plane Vaihayasa, gifted by Maya demon? In the battle, Indra, Vishnu, Bali, Arishta. Yes, Bali Maharaj was attacking from a plane given by the Maya Danav demon, and its name was Vaihayasa. Okay. Who countered with the Balla weapon when Bali attacked with 10 arrows, 3 at Airavata, 1 at driver, 4 at leg protectors? Vishnu, Indra, Shiva, Mohini. Yes, it was Indra. Who came to the rescue of the Devas when Bali's illusory weapons made them despondent? Shiva on buffalo, Kartikaya on peacock, Vishnu on Garuda, Ganesha on rat. Actually, Vishnu on Garuda. Who killed Kalanemi with his own trident? Mali, Sumali, Malyavan with his disc weapon. Shiva, Narada, Vishnu, Garuda. The disc weapon gives it away because Lord Krishna or Vishnu has the Sudarshan Chakra, which is the disc weapon. Okay. 11th question. What weapon did Indra use to kill Namuchi? Foam, gold, silver, lightning. Yes, we discussed Indra couldn't use his Vajra or lightning weapon because this demon could be killed only by something that's neither dry or wet. Okay, Lord Shiva was bewildered by the beauty of Mohini and ran behind her. True or false? Yes, very good. Second last question for today. Why was Lord Shiva not ashamed of himself? He was humble and knew he can make mistake if Lord wants him to. He liked making mistakes. Yes, he was humble. What manvantara are we in currently? 1, 2, 5, or 7? So out of the total 14 manvantras, we are on the 7th manvantara right now. Hare Krishna. So very nice. All of you played really well. Listen carefully so that you could answer the questions. And all of you are winners. Just for fun, the third place goes to Unknown, second place goes to Sri Hariji, and first place goes to Krishna devotee. That is Ayana. Okay, congratulations all. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpata Rupascha, Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Everyone, speak Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Good.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Sri Hariji here. Ayana is here. Yeah, they have grown up. Your dad is coming today, Shreya and Sri Hariji. He's coming today evening. We are having a program to have some kirtan. Oh, they signed off.